welcome to Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. Today we are talking to Kyra Schaefer. Hello.
Hey, how are you? Is everyone out there?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for saying yes. I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. This is fantastic. I mean, you have such a beautiful mission. You have such a beautiful message. This is so in alignment with what the world needs right now. So thank you for letting me be with you.
Yay. So listen, I'm going to tell the people about you, and then we're going to jump in and just have a conversation. We'll see where the conversation goes. How's that sound?
Sounds wonderful.
All right. So Kyra Schaefer is the co-founder of the independent publishing company called As You Wish Publishing, a business dedicated to making book publishing accessible for aspiring authors who want to publish solo books and participate in collaborative books. Kyra helps authors get their messages heard to bring hope-filled, real-life stories to the world. Her passion is to debunk the myth that writing is difficult and only available for a lucky chosen few. If you want to share your story with the world and learn about upcoming projects, you can reach Kyra at asyouwishpublishing.com. So I love that. I love that you're saying that it's accessible to everybody. So how did you get involved in publishing in the first place?
Well, it was quite by I don't know how woo you want me to get on here, but it was quite by divine intervention, I guess you'd say. A friend of ours was tragically killed in a car accident. And we had a grieving group that we were working through the pain of her loss. And I really felt called on November 7th at 7 a.m. 2017. And if you know me, I don't wake up before 10 because I go to bed at, 2.
Yeah.
And so the thing was that I felt really called, and she had been kind of making her rounds spiritually, going to, and I know I don't want to sound crackers here, but around the group, and because people have been being called to write her book, and she's like, "You want to write?" And I go, "Girl, I don't know how to write your book. I don't know how to write a book. What are you talking about to me?" And and I want to do what those who go before me ask me to do. I'm just really obligatory that way. But anyway, so I went out to the group and I said, "Hey, who wants to do this with me? Who wants to help me?" And it was like crickets. And there's like, "No, you don't know what you're doing," which is fair. It was absolutely fair. And so I decided that I was going to just keep pushing forward with it and just not let anything stop me. So I got a book cover design ready, and I put it out there again. And I said, "All right, guys, let's try it. Let's do this." So I had about 20 authors join me in this book, Happy Thoughts Playbook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm going my finger. Happy Thoughts Playbook, and they all pitched in a little money because I didn't have enough money to write a book, and so we just got together and created an opportunity not only for those people who kind of paid in, but I donated a couple spaces. We had kids join in with us, all this kind of stuff, to have a creative workbook that was also joyful, but could have significant meaning to help with the process of grieving for people, because we were grieving too. Yeah. And so very powerful. That's how we started. And it took me a year to do that book because every step of the way I was like, "Oh no, am I going to have to stop grieving? And when this book is done, am I going to have to let her go?" Yeah. And the answer was no. Because she's definitely still here with me, like she's my biggest ally on the other side, right? And so we really just exploded from there, because we realized that there was this need for people to express themselves, but either they didn't have the money, they didn't have a whole lot of time to write their own book, And but they really wanted to share. So we created this collaborative experience, and then we moved on to solos. So since that one book, or that 1 year, that next year we did 10 books. And so far we've done, I think, 6 books. So we've just, it's just been amazing.
Yeah. So what did you do before this? I
was a clinical hypnotherapist, and I had a clinic in Phoenix. I was like, where do I live? Phoenix, Arizona. And that was a really terrific practice, but we got burned out, to be perfectly honest. And, we were seeing up to 70 clients a week. It was just, wow. It was wild. So, it was time for a change, and we shifted around some things and did a lot of stuff, but we moved right into this really nicely.
Yeah. I love that. And I love that she's your angel, really helping you and leading you along the way. So that is beautiful. And you started in 2016, so it was 2020 now. And what brings you joy about the publishing company and the company that you've created, basically?
The thing that brings me the most joy is, oh man, I'm telling you, when folks get their book for the first time, even if it's a collaborative book or if it's a solo book, it doesn't matter. I think they do this. They just are like, where's my name? Hold on, where's my name?
I love it.
Where am I? Where am I in this? And they see their name and they get so excited, and they just, oh my gosh. And it was the same way with me. I've done collaborative books before, and I was like, that's my name. And then when they get their book, what I do, like when we have solos get their books, I call them. I'm like, do you get your book? You got it in your hands? What are you doing? And they're like, oh my God, it's so great. So beautiful. I love it. So awesome. And then I'm like, and I'm like, don't share it. Don't share it yet. We've got to launch it. We got to make people be like, ooh, what's coming?
Yeah.
And then we launch it, and it's big and it's beautiful, and I love it.
I love that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I can imagine, because I just did one with you, and so I'm excited about it as well. I'm like, okay, when is it coming? But we just finished it, so
yes,
we got some time.
We've got a couple of months here, but yeah, it's so fun, so delightful.
Yeah. So what do you say that anyone can write a book, that everyone has a story? What would you suggest people to do who are, I know people who are thinking I should write something, like what are the first steps of the process?
You know what? I just wrote my blog about this morning.
Oh,
I just finished it up. Yeah. Talking about simple steps to look for some simple topics, And so I think the first thing that you do is you find out what you know really, really well. So what is it that you know so well that you could write about it for days and days and days?
Yeah.
And then go out and look at some topics. Look at some things that are trending right now. Go out. This is a great tip. I learned this from Miles Beckler, fantastic Facebook marketer, advertising, everything. He's just amazing guy. Anyway, he said, go out to Amazon, go to your topic. Let's say your topic is leadership. Yep. Type in leadership bestsellers, and then hit enter. And then whatever comes up, whatever book draws you in, or whatever title you feel like that's really me. That's really me. And then go through and look inside, and then look at all of the chapter headings and see if you're resonating with 5 or 6 of those chapter headings, or look at multiple books. And then that's where you can kind of draw your topic idea from.
Gotcha.
And then get some topics, get some subtopics, and then just keep on fleshing them all out. And then you will have a book. You will have a book. At minimum, you'll have a blog. and you'll be able to start generating content and generating information, and your own ideas will flow like crazy. There's something very special about writing that's not the same as speaking. You know, I can speak and speak and speak, but when I write, I have to think about my reader and how they're perceiving what I'm saying. And I might be getting into deep places that I don't usually touch if I'm just, you know, kind of talking to a friend or something like that. And so, so as you go, you don't have to have your manuscript completely done, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what we have editors for. Thank God for editors. I wouldn't be able to write a word without our editor. And just let it flow. First, let it flow. Or if you need to get organized, create that outline, and then just allow your wisdom to come out, because you have wisdom.
Love that.
If you have lived one day on this planet, you've got some wisdom. Something has come through for you.
Yeah. Say that again.
If you have lived one day on this planet, you have wisdom. Something has come through for you.
Yes. And that's beautiful. And that is so important for people to understand, that your story, the very reason why you are here is so important, and it's so magical, you know, that it needs to be shared with the world.
Yes.
I love it.
And when you have an enlightened focus, or you have an inspired focus, or you have a love-filled focus, or you have a positive intention, right? It is going to be amplified tenfold. I really, truly believe that. You know, if you're writing for other reasons that don't necessarily contribute, and, you know, you're not necessarily going to have that longevity. You know, it's not going to withstand the test of time, because the one thing that's true about all people is that we need hope. We need hope, we need love, and we need connection. Yeah. And if you can find ways to help bring that more and more into people's lives, you are going to go places, that's for sure. That doesn't mean we don't talk about the hard places,
right?
Or the painful places. We got to get through that, and then when we get on the other side of it, then we've got just goodness overflowing.
That's powerful. What you just said is that, but you have to walk through that too, though, right?
Yes.
Like you can't skirt around it, tiptoe. No, you have to walk through it, as difficult as it is, and feel whatever is surrounding you, but keep walking, because on the other side, it's going to be beautiful. But you got to get through it first, though.
Yeah, we're not talking about rainbows and kittens, right? We really, you know, we don't put gold glitter over a heap. You know, we want to make sure that we're getting it through, and then we put the gold glitter, because we've come through it. And I think that's when the ticker tape parade comes through. You know, it's not before that. You know, because we haven't really gotten there yet. So, and I do it every day. You know, I mean, we all have things we got to get through and move through and consider and think about. And that's definitely not lost on me. This book here was our second book. Where is it? Watch me not find it. Where'd it go? Oh,
it's staring at you.
There it is. When I Rise, I Thrive.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Healing trauma through shared stories of personal transformation. So this was our second book. We did this as a writing contest. We charged people $10 to be in it. I just wanted to see if I could, you know, do this again. You know, could we get another book to bestseller? Could this be a viable option? And I wanted to make it really inexpensive for people to join it. And so this was the title I came out. I was like, oh yes, I like that title a lot. And so, you know, all of these stories start out with some of the horrors that many of us experience and go through. A lot of abuse, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, just so much, you know. And I hold it to my heart because at the end of almost all these stories, there's hope.
Yeah.
And that just to know that I get to be that publisher, to bring these stories out, that just means the world to me. So
yeah, and that's beautiful. And I can see it. I can see it in your face how much it means to you and how impactful it has been for you personally.
Yes.
Not only the people who are sharing their stories, who are writing their stories, but for you personally, how it's manifesting in such a beautiful way. So what kind of lessons have you learned through the years of doing this? Is what year 4 for you now, and several books later? Like, what have been some of the top lessons?
You know, I am a different person. I really am. I really am. I'm way more. I feel like I'm a more compassionate person. I feel like I'm more aware. I feel like I see people and their experiences better, and with the world as it is currently, you know, is you know, I'm just always learning. You know, what can I do? What can I do to be better? What can I, you know, and how can our company grow with the times and make sure that we're creating awareness around big topics of the day, and what can we do to support authors who want to bring their message to the world. So for me, I think I'm just more socially aware. I'm more outwardly aware. I'm more because generally I'm a pretty inward person. I'm an introvert, believe it or not, and so I'm very inwardly contemplative.
Yeah.
And so to kind of expand out and learn from my authors, because I read every book, you know, that we get, and I feel that I learn so much from them. You know, there's so many people that they would never have a chance, not to say that their book quality isn't amazing, it is.
Right.
But to get a traditional publishing package, you know, or get a traditional publisher to come and do their book for them. They just don't, it's because, you know, one word could be off and that traditional publisher is going to boot them.
Yeah.
And I'm reading these books and I'm like, this is the most profound stuff I've ever read.
Yeah. Yeah.
This published Sidney Kaufman's The Mortal's Guide to Dying Well. And just such a powerful title, number one. But what it does is it actually helps people create their end of life plan. And, you know, a traditional publisher would see that as pretty fringe and not allow it. But so many people need it. So, yes, long answer.
No, you're perfect. Then that's fine.
I'm a better person. I think that's the biggest.
I love it. I love it. And that's beautiful, though, because you're allowing people to be their truest self and not worry about, like you just said, the bigger publisher saying, oh, we can't do this or whatever. You just want people to be authentic and to tell their stories and to share their honesty and their truth with the world, because that's what we need right now. And as you said, it also gives people hope. And if anything we need in this moment is hope.
telling me there.
I mean, the world is literally upside down. It's crazy, and there's things happening, but humanity will rise. I believe in that, but it's that hope that is going to keep us afloat. And so I love that you're doing this.
Yeah, it's the most, I think it's one of the most important things that I do. It's my husband, my dogs. I have a bearded dragon, my lizard, and this publishing company, and all of its authors. And I consider the publishing company its authors.
Yeah.
Right. You know, because there would not be a publishing company without its authors. And we're family. I mean, we really are really close. You know, we talk, people message me, we connect. I learn about their things that they've got going on in their life. I mean, we do happy hours, we do, you know, online, you know, I mean, we find the best ways that we can during this time to be able to connect and make sure that everybody is as well and as happy as they can be.
Yeah. And so the one of the first books you pulled down said The Grateful Soul. And so what What is some of the stories in there about gratitude and being grateful in the time that we're in now?
Well, I mean, it's so interesting because we started acquisitioning for this book in November, and then we moved forward in time. What I mean, like the chasm between November to February is vast. So we got into pandemic time. Suddenly the authors were like, I can't write. I'm sad. I'm afraid. I'm lonely. I'm worried. All this kind of stuff. We extended deadlines just to accommodate, for the shift in the world, and then, everything else. So what happened? So we had the people who were like go-getters right in November, and then we had the people come in later, and then that shifted. So we have like a half and half book. We have half pre-pandemic and half.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So definitely the stories have shifted and changed, and it's been really fascinating to watch, because then they came to a place of, how can I find gratitude in the pandemic? How can I find gratitude when I feel so sad?
Yeah.
When I feel so depressed, when I feel so worried, and what little bit of hope can I give to someone else during this time? So that book is just a beautiful array of different types of stories that are affecting them differently. It's very interesting to read. Yeah.
And I love that you said it's half and half. It's pre-pandemic and it's pandemic.
Yeah. We aren't post-pandemic yet.
No, we're not post. We're not post. What is it? Inter-pandemic? Is that the word? Is it that what it is?
I think so.
And so, but I love how people were trying to find the gratitude and the gratefulness during this time, because it has been difficult. It has been harder on some than others, but still very interesting, the time that we're living in right now. We've never experienced a worldwide pause.
Nope.
Like literally the entire world shut down.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah. And you thought like, oh, it's going to be a couple weeks and then we're going to be fine. It's going to be whatever. But here we are, month, 4? It was the 4th month. And
I don't know. I am so feral right now. Like literally, if anybody comes within 6 feet of me, I'm probably going to eat them. Like I have no concept. I'm amazed I'm speaking right now. Like it's just so we're just really stuck in our own minds and it's interesting. I own my business with my husband.
Yeah.
And so he came and joined in about a year after getting it started. And so he goes to his room. I'm in the dining room.
Right.
A nice little bit of separation. And we have our own space and time. And that's how we are coping with all of this. So
yeah.
If we lived in a tiny house, I don't think we'd survive.
I get it. I get it. It's beautiful how people are learning to navigate during this time too. Trying to, figure out their sanity, their own sanity. And then if you live with people, it's also the sanity of the people that you live with. And then the collective sanity. So each person has their own individual stuff they have their own, but then you're there together. Yeah. You have to figure out how that works as well. And so it's been quite interesting seeing all of that play out.
So true. So true.
So what is your hope for the world? I know that's a big question, but it's a big question. but come on, give me some layers.
Oh my gosh, my hope for the world.
Yes.
Oh Lord, just let's be nice, okay? Can we just be nice? Can we keep our hands to ourselves and just be nice?
You know what? And that is beautiful. That is some beautiful words. You know what I mean?
Do you remember kindergarten? You remember kindergarten? When your teacher said, keep your hands to yourself. Sit on your hands. Can you sit on your hands for just a minute?
Yeah, and stop talking. Don't look at them.
Stop talking. Just shh. Yeah. And you know that's just because the teacher needed a break, really.
Yeah. I love that.
Teachers. Yay. We all love you.
Give it up for the teachers. And it's beautiful. Like, I feel that the pandemic has, and I know there's a lot has happened within the pandemic as well, but I think the pandemic is the overall thing. And then there's, microcosms of stuff that's been happening underneath it. But I think it has shone a light on teachers, on healthcare workers, on first responders, on, the essential workers, whoever you are, but specifically teachers in this moment, because they went on spring break, right? People went on spring break. They're going to go do whatever they do on spring break. And then they will come back and keep going. But that's not what happened. We went on spring break and they were like, the world is shut down.
Yeah. And now everybody's got to learn technology.
Yeah. By the way, the world has shut down. There's no more school, and good luck with that. And so
I want to see that graphic of the world and it just like a closed sign. So everybody knows.
Right. Closed.
Closed.
I love it because I have a bunch of teacher friends and family members who are teachers, and they do so much. And you have kind of an idea of what they do and what they deal with, because, they have, 20 to 30 kids in their classroom or whatever the situation may be. You have an idea of what they do, but not as much as we do currently, because now everyone had to be teachers themselves. Right. The world is closed, but you still have to teach your kids.
Yeah, and I don't have kids, but I give absolute 100% props to those parents who are just knocking it out of the park, and to those parents who aren't. Like,
yeah, for sure, all of them. All of them. Yeah, all of them, and the teachers.
Thank you, parents.
Yeah, and the teachers who have kids too, right?
Yeah,
the teachers who are like, everyone has been disrupted.
Yeah.
But in the disruption, we figure out sort of, kind of, how it all works. But most importantly, how grateful we should be to those teachers, because I think they were, I know for sure that they were undervalued. Yes. And not only, monetarily, that's a separate story, but just undervalued, period, in what they do with these kids, and how they deal with them, 7.5 hours out of a day. That's a long time to be with 30 kids.
And to keep them safe, and to remind them to sit on their hands.
Yeah,
I did nannying for a little while. You always find ways to have some kind of side hustle and just do, because I'm not the type. I'm not great at having a job.
Yeah.
I will work 80 hours a week doing what I love, than 20 hours a week working for somebody else. That's just my personality.
Yeah.
And so I worked nannying and stuff like that. Just keeping a child from setting themselves on fire is like magic. Like, you need a wizard's wand to just be like, boop, you're not going to set yourself on fire today. Yay. Teachers.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Just keeping a child from setting themselves on fire. And they have 30 of them. Like, I know. They go home safely every night, pretty much. They may have a
Lord of the Flies. These teachers. Kids in line. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, it's been beautiful though. It's been beautiful watching
Yeah.
how we're being awakened to stuff that we were sleeping on, right? Like we were literally robots going through the world, and this is just the way the world works, and this is my way of getting through the world. And then when it all stopped, it was like, oh wait, oh well, what do I do now?
Yeah, let's look at some of the issues. And I think that spawned, you know, so much awareness. You know, so we already have awareness, you know, we already know certain things. But, you know, when our only focus is, hold on a second, what is Black Lives Matter? Okay, hold on a second, what is social justice? Okay, wait a second, what is LGBTQ? What? Oh, wait a second, hold on. You know what? I can take some time out of my day to get a little educated. Yeah. And so I think that is really another benefit, because we're able to see, and as a white person, you know, I am able to be an ally. I can learn how to, you know, be in a world that I wasn't paying attention to. Yeah, be supportive instead of some way that was taking away. Yeah. And so, and I'm still learning, and I still mess up, you know, but I think we have to get a little messy so we can get to the kindness, you know, that you are so amazing at bringing to this world, Louisa. So, you know, we've just, you know, we got a lot of work to do, but I think it's going to be more awareness is always, more education, more information is always better than not enough.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think because we all stopped and we all slowed down, because in the past it was, you know, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to worry about what's happening over there, or I'm so distracted with my everyday life that I don't have the capacity to put anything else in my brain. Yeah. But now you do, because I mean, what else are you doing?
I mean, I'm publishing books like crazy. We published, like, launched three in like the last month and a half or so. But what matters to my authors must matter to me. And so when you know, George Floyd and everything started happening, you know, becoming bringing more awareness to the main issues of the day, I started reaching out to my community and like, how can I support? What can I do? And I got into some amazing conversations and just learning. And so, you know, as a business owner, if y'all are a business owner, people who are listening, reach out to your community, talk to your community and find out what they're needing right now, you know, and that should be happening anyway, especially with the pandemic. But yeah, I don't know. That's, that's what I have to say about that. That's important to me.
Yeah, and it's beautiful too. And what I love is that I think because of the distractions that we've, you know, our lives, what we've dealt with and what we've allowed, that we were, you know, just walking through, not paying attention to anything, but what was like right in, we were, you know, tunnel vision. And tired, exhausted. Yeah, and I get that. And I totally get that. And I get how certain issues, certain situations may not affect you because you're so consumed with what's happening around you. But once that consumption was up and then you had no choice but to pay attention, then it was like, oh, and having those hard conversations and being okay with being uncomfortable, because it's got to be uncomfortable. You've got to get there. Like we were talking about earlier, you got to get there in order to get to the other side. And if we never have those conversations, and if we never siphon through all of our discomfort, then this whole time that we've had in the last 4 months would have been wasted.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Louisa. That you are absolutely on it.
Yeah. And so I'm hopeful. I am hopeful for the world. The conversations that I have with my white friends, they say, well, do you think it's going to change? I can only say that I'm hopeful, because I don't know. It feels different this time. It feels different. And I can feel an awakening, and I can feel a change coming. But we've still got to do the work.
Yeah.
We've still got to have those conversations. Just because we're feeling it doesn't mean we're actually going to act upon it if we don't, continue the work and continue the conversations. So I am super hopeful for this world, for our humanity, for what we're going to do on the other side of this. But we've got to keep digging, though.
Yes. Yes. I'm always, I'm like, hold on. Okay. Am I saying this right? Like, did I?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll just message somebody or talk to somebody, and I'll just be like, hey, wait, is this, am I being totally tone deaf right now? Like, let me just double check with somebody who can feel through this issue with me. And that really helps too. And having Black friends, having a diversity of friends, to bounce ideas off and for them to be open to that means so much to me because I can't do right until I know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And then once I know, I can change. But if the conversation stops, then I can't make the difference that I really feel like I'm here to make, in this world, to be inclusive, to understand people's points of view. And so that really matters to me. I'm gonna cry.
You're up. Yeah, no, don't be sorry for that. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I believe we are all here to do that. But we've got to own it ourselves though, and get to a place that we're allowing ourselves to honor the reason we're here. We've got to honor those emotions and those feelings, and let the tears flow for sure.
Girl, don't want me to do that. I'll just start weeping.
And it's okay.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'll write an article and put it in.
The time I wept.
The time I wept on a Facebook Live with Louisa Garrett. It's going to be a really long title.
But like, oh, that's very specific.
That is really. I think I could probably find this video.
Oh, you are beautiful. So tell me what's going on with you. What's happening? What do you have in the works and all that good stuff?
Well, what I'm very excited about is that we just got y'all's book.
Woo!
I know, to start putting it through formatting, going to the editor. I'm very excited because there are so many different voices in this book. I feel like this book is going to teach me so much. The title is to be determined, yes. Yeah. But that's like, we're just, pulling back the veil a little bit and going, hey, there's going to be something coming. All right. And then, and then we'll let you know. But what's really cool is that, Tara Ija, who did a word cloud in a heart, and I saw this, but she had everybody in the book, and she's the lead on this book. She had everyone in the book put in who they are. Put in who they are. Who am I? I'm a woman. I'm a wife. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm LGBTQ. I'm trans. I'm I'm Black. I'm white. I'm Muslim. And she put this all in this awesome heart-shaped love cloud and of words. And I think it's wordly is what she said. We love that word. Wordle. And so I'm like looking at this thing, and I am in tears because I am like, this is the most beautiful book that's going to happen, and the most profound, and I think it's going to be a manual in many ways for people who want to really embrace diversity. Yeah. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited for y'all's book. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I can't wait to read all the stories and to hold it. And like you said, you really just like, wait a minute. There I am. Where's my name? That is awesome. So if people are interested in publishing a book, please reach out to Kyra. She also has a class coming up. If you're not sure if you have the words or whatever, she's going to help you. So tell us about the class, and then.
Okay. Yes, I completely forgot. I've just been in so much love with you. Doing this. I've been so in love with you, and so. Okay, it's called the Build Your Brilliant Book Masterclass. And this class is really for people who haven't written a book before. They're just starting out, just like Louise asked in the beginning, how do you even get started? We'll help you get started with the intention of at the end of 3 months, having that rough manuscript in hand. So that's something that we really want to shoot for. You're going to learn all kinds of skills, but also there's going to be 12 videos with 2 bonus videos for what to do after you've got the book done. We are going to be, once we get the rough manuscripts in, we're going to choose one to give a $4,000 publishing package to.
Beautiful.
Very exciting. Then we're also going to, once we reach 100 students, we're going to donate $1,000 to Maggie's Place, which is an organization who helps homeless pregnant women get back on their feet. Then we also, let's see, what else are we doing? Oh yeah, we're going to do a mastermind, 3 masterminds during that, so that people can pop into like a Zoom call and make sure that that they feel good. They're on the right track. They've got their questions answered. We're going to do weekly Facebook Lives. I mean, this is going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very excited for it. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So I'm gonna give Louisa a link to give to you guys so that you can definitely go out and check it out.
I love it. I love it. So yes, if you guys are interested in publishing a book, or you've been just toying with the idea, please reach out to Kyra. Even, if you want to be in the class, fantastic. If you have questions, I'm sure she can answer them.
Happy to answer.
And so thank you. Just thank you for sharing your heart and for listening to your friend who changed your life 4 years ago. Yeah. And I know it's unfortunate. I'm so sorry that she's no longer with us, but because she is no longer with us, you have gone on to do amazing things with, countless authors and touched thousands of lives. So thank you for that. And thank you for honoring that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this has been Make Kind Loud. We've been talking to Kyra Schaefer. She is a publisher with As You Wish Publishing. Please reach out to her if you have any questions. And like she says, everyone has a story and everyone is here to share their story. So do that.
Thank you, Louisa, for having me. This has been just an absolute delight.
Thank you for saying yes. And we'll see you guys next week on another episode of Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume.